W.O.M.A.N is more than a gathering, it's a strategic initiative to accelerate visibility, investment, readiness, and sustainability for women-led businesses in these sectors.
Energy in transition is no longer a distant goal, but a present reality for Africa's industries and the women leading them.
We all know that SMEs play a crucial role in driving green manufacturing. This is thanks to their significant contribution to innovation and their readiness to provide a testbed for global sustainable practices and technologies.
Alitheia Capital convened another gathering of its women community, Women in Manufacturing, Agribusiness and Nutrition, with a sharp focus on one of today's most urgent global conversations, energy in transition.
Running a manufacturing business in Africa is not for the faint of heart. With over 20 years of experience in this industry, one thing is certain: you cannot run a factory without water and energy. Unfortunately, these are the very challenges we struggle with in our dear nation.
Supported by the British High Commission in Nigeria and Manufacturing Africa, the event drew investors, policymakers, and business leaders, all focused on one urgent question: how do we ensure women are not left behind in Africa's energy transition?
We started it last year as part of International Women's Day, Women in Manufacturing, Agribusiness and Nutrition, because in Alitheia Capital, our fund's thesis, we invest in access to essential services. So a lot of our portcos are actually women in manufacturing and agribusiness. So we thought, how can we create a community that we bring women in this sector as growth stage SMEs in this sector together, transfer knowledge, connect them where they can learn from each other and talk on different areas that are actually critical to their business's growth. So that's how it started. And this year we decided to look at, with energy transition, we've been very intentional about working with our portfolio companies to transition to either transitioning sources of fuel like CNG or to renewable energy sources. So we thought, how do we work also with the FCDO? They're doing a lot of work to bring this information and the solution providers so that we demystify this energy transition. It sounds nice. Oh, everybody's saying energy transition. But how do I actually do it? How do I finance it? Who is financing it? And what is the process? So that's why we did this event.
Opening the day, the British Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria, Johnny Baxter, reaffirmed the UK's commitment to driving sustainable and inclusive growth, especially in sectors where energy remains a limiting factor.
What we're doing here is we're working with Alitheia Capital. This is we, the British government, working with Alitheia Capital to support a platform which is aimed at helping female entrepreneurs build more sustainable green businesses. This is an environment where green business is a fantastic opportunity, and also where we want to strengthen female participation. The UK has a program called Manufacturing Africa, and this program has now launched a new bit of it called Green Business Building. And this is about helping new businesses, entrepreneurs, build areas, get skills which they might not otherwise have had. So we try and provide tailored support that's answering specific questions. And companies, businesses, SMEs come to us and they'll say, we can't do a pitch or we haven't done one of these things. And what we can do through Manufacturing Africa is bring experts together from around the world to come and talk to those businesses and help them answer the specific questions that they have.
From panel discussions to open floor Q&As, one message echoed clearly: Africa's energy transition cannot be gender neutral. Women must be part of the solution.
So Sterling is very big on supporting women and of course youth-led initiatives. Sterling is big on sustainability, right? We came up with our heart strategy. I don't know if you've heard about it, but we have a heart strategy called H for health, E education, A agriculture, R renewable energy, and T transportation. And within that, there are still sub-products that women can access. And I always loudly talk about we call the SWAY AgFin facility, which is for women. You can access the facility at 9% for your agri projects, which of course energy is embedded in that, right? And another product that we believe that women need to know about, because I was saying in there that we need to do a lot more in terms of getting people to know about these things, right? So for me, that's another takeaway, that we should do a lot better in reaching out, in working with the market.
If you look at Nigeria as a country, for example, energy requirement is very important, but we don't have enough grid availability to support industries. And most businesses tend to use other sources of power to sort of like augment whatever the deficit that is coming from the grid energy. And the main source they use is diesel. Diesel is not clean energy and it's very expensive. So where we come in is to try, and what energy transitioning means is to look for other sources of energy, cleaner source of energy, cost-efficient source of energy that women-led SMEs can transition into so that they can help scale their businesses. Because if you look at the cost profile of most of these businesses, energy tends to take a very big chunk of their costs. And if they are able to scale up and reduce those costs, then they can help them scale up in other areas. They can have more money to use to, augment other areas of their businesses where they need to, scale up.
And in a time when global development funding is under pressure, the conversation also turned to what truly drives investment support.
This event has been so exciting. It's been fantastic to connect with a lot of the beneficiaries that Manufacturing Africa has worked with. These are beneficiary companies that have been able to secure investments, have been able to expand their manufacturing operations in a time where manufacturing has been tough in Nigeria, and businesses that have been able to recruit new people and create jobs. So the biggest takeaway from me from this event is women-led businesses should know that support exists, funding exists, and what they need to do in order to access that is to network, is to research, and to find credible partners.
For Alitheia Capital and its growing women network, the message is consistent. This isn't just about powering homes and factories, it's about powering women to lead Africa's energy future. Elizabeth Musa, reporting for Business Day Television.